This one was very colored, and as you can see, it's bad. So the intake side is just as bad, and it's the further you go this way, the worse it gets. Devil Monday. We've got a Diablo. It pulled itself in, ran okay. It's just really low power. He's had it to another shop. They've looked at it. They've spent some money on it, put cats on it, did a few other things, and the cats were bad. But catalytic converters don't usually go bad. So there's usually something causing the catalytic converter to go bad. So we're going to dig in and see what we can figure out. Start with the basics. Always start with the basics. So we're going to do a leak down test, and just going to check the cylinders and see what kind of leak we have, and go from there. We'll see what we got. Struck gold on the first hole. That's bad. That's actually really bad. So we may already be on to something after 20 minutes. Alright, so we've got oil on the spark plug in cylinder number U5 and 6. So what we're going to do now is just a real basic test. We're going to do a leak test. So we're going to put some air in it and see what she shows. So out of 90 psi going in, I mean I can actually hear it coming out the intake, and the valves are shut. So that's not good. So next step is going to be we'll stick a bore scope in there and see what we can see. Okay, so what do we see here? Not a lot. Do see what looks like an impression right there. And we'll see if we can get a picture from the other side. All right, well, I believe we have found the problem. It looks like there's a valve impact right here. Got off the phone with the customer and informed him of the problem. So the procedure is going to be the engine's going to have to come out of the car, cylinder heads are going to have to come off. I would say it lost timing on that bank and hit the valve. Surprisingly, the thing was running pretty good. So after a long conversation with him, he's decided that he does not want to, can't afford right now to fix the car. So I made him an offer to buy it. That was actually a poster car of mine when I was a kid in high school. So Chaz, I bought a Diablo. So here we go. So we're going to pull the engine out and go through this thing and see if we can fix it up. What do you think? Are we freaking insane?
I think you're a glutton for punishment.
I can't see you in the camera here. Let me turn it. All right, so Chaz, this is Chaz, and we're going to pull this engine out. We just did a Diablo a few weeks ago. So we're going to pull the engine out, tear it down. You guys are going to get to see it all on my wallet. So this will be fun. Okay, so what we're doing now is we're just draining all the fluids. We've got samples of the engine oil, we got a sample of the gearbox oil, we got a sample of the differential oil. Obviously we're going to go through the engine anyway, but just want to make sure everything else is happy and healthy before we put it back together. She is stuck, Dan. All right, so here we are. We got everything disconnected, and we've got our gantry hooked up. So next we're going to pull the big lump out of the car here. So here it is, it's out, it's humongous. And goals for today, we're gonna remove the gearbox, check the clutch, probably replace the clutch, and probably replace the slave. And then we're going to tear it down to point of failure, which I know for sure is in this cylinder head. So we'll get the intake manifold off, probably strip all the front accessories just to refinish them and get everything looking good anyway. And then we're gonna pull that head and see what went boom. And then we'll probably, most likely, not gonna be today, we'll flip it over, get it up on a bench, tear it down to the crankshaft. We're gonna reseal all of that anyway, just to be sure it's all good. But yeah, you can see how long it is. I mean, it's pretty long coming out that little hole. We got the clutch out, and it's definitely been replaced. You see the sticker. I think that's a newer clutch, but it's doing some weird stuff. It's actually, the clutch plate sort of looks like it's coming apart there. Definitely coming apart there. Real hot. That's very, very, very normal for a Diablo though, especially a VT, because they're all-wheel drive. So parking lots are tough on these cars. Well, I think we definitely found the problem. One valve is open and one valve is closed. That's not normal. So on back to pulling the cylinder head. All right, well, we definitely found some problems. Not sure what the cause is for any of these problems yet. It's getting worse as we go. So come around here, I'll show you. Here's the exhaust cam. Well, the first thing I noticed, we got that valve cover off. I looked at that and I thought, man, that is weird. That cam cap is awful coked up with oil. But none of the other, you know, if it was just sitting there submerged in oil and coked it up over time, I would think, you know, they would all do that. But this one was very colored, and as you can see, it's bad. So the intake side is just as bad, and it's the further you go this way, the worse it gets. Still doesn't explain this, why the shim's missing. This shim will actually, I don't know if I can get that one to pop out, the oil suction. As you can see, this bucket just literally just pops out of there. See? So anyway, we're gonna pull the studs, pull the nuts off the head studs and pop the head off. Is it loose?
Yeah.
All right, yeah, we're going. Wiggle.
Down. You're pinching that.
There we go. There we go. We got it. Kicking on over to the bench. Way to look at this.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Boink.
I'll get the hammer.
Okay, that's that. As you can see, it is bad. Also, real bad. And then here, totally bad. Bad. These are just partly bad.
So, right here, if you can tell in the video, this is completely melted. I mean, this is heavily textured right here. The camshaft's the same way. Let me grab that. So, a little bit trickier to see here, but this lobe right here is all chewed up. Now, you see much more severe damage on the head because the head is aluminum, whereas the camshaft is steel. And then you saw, and where Vince pointed it out, this cap on this side was black, and that was because it got so hot while it was running that it was burning the oil on it and singeing it into the cap. So this, you can imagine this was practically glowing. Now, aluminum won't typically glow very much under these temperatures, but you get the idea. So this was fairly catastrophic damage. To the head shop we go.
Yeah, so we're headed to the cylinder head shop to see Mr. Brad and see if these cylinder heads are repairable, because we don't have a machine shop in-house to do that. So that we do farm out. And checked with Lamborghini this morning. Johnny at Lamborghini Miami. By the way, if you need Lamborghini parts, that's the place. 21,000, doesn't matter, dollars for a bare head. So that's really not probably an option.
Plus cams and valves.
Yeah, and the cams were $17,000 a piece. This is ridiculous. That's not even real numbers. So we're gonna see if these cylinder heads are fixable. I've made a couple calls to buddies who do the same thing we do, work on Ferrari and Lamborghinis, and so seeing if we can find a bare casting. Have found that it is somewhat of a common issue, I guess. I've never seen it, doesn't mean anything, for these to have low oil pressure or a stuck orifice or something going to the top cylinder head and eat the head. So anyway, we're kind of onto this mission, see if we can get that figured out, and then get the heads being fixed. When we get back to the shop, we're gonna take the oil pan off, and I'm gonna run into everybody here, I'm driving. Take the oil pan off and pull the lower sump. What else?
Start checking bearings.
Yeah, split the block, check the bearings.
You tell them how much the bearings are.
Yeah, that's not even real. It's $4,000 my cost per half, for half of each main bearing.
Yeah.
So anyway, I put some calls into Europe this morning to see about pricing on bearings, and hopefully the crankshaft's good.
Yeah.
I don't even want to think what that thing costs. Yeah. So anyway, obviously the most important thing is to fix it properly, fix it right. I'm not trying to be cheap by no means, but if we can repair what we have and have a good product, let's do that. Yeah. So we have I pre-ordered all the gaskets and tensioners and seals and that sort of stuff. So we have all those parts, and we keep quite a bit of Lamborghini parts in stock anyway. So that's kind of where we're at. Probably just need to. This is the worst one, right?
Yeah, the door's not latched.
So we're here with Mr. Brad, and Brad has solved our problem, I think. So Brad says he's gonna fix them up? Tell them about what you're going to do, maybe.
I've done similar work on single cam Ferrari, V12 Ferrari on a, what was it, 330 years ago. Now I have a machine that should be much better than I was doing it with cutters and dowels back then. So we will figure out which way to make this hole smaller, either welding up or cutting the cam or top of the head down, set it up in the line bore machine, and cut the holes back to OEM size. And
yeah, and Brad's gonna do full valve job. Obviously, anything else he needs, any machine work I need on heads, bring it to Brad here at Nolan's.
Resurface, valve job. If it's like most Ferraris, we'll be putting guides in.
This is a Lamborghini, so it'll probably be even worse.
Yeah, I have done. Is this an S5000 Lamborghini?
Diablo.
Okay, I did we did cam work on a S5000 Countach.
Oh yeah, Countach. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see how this goes, and Brad's going to call us and let us know. We're going to take this cam, send it out, and see if we can get that fixed. So, here we go. Well, guys, this is going to be a recap of where we're at and where we're going. So we've got the engine out of the car. We've got it torn down to the cylinder heads are off. We've got the heads at Brad's, and we're going to hope Brad can fix the heads. Camshafts are going in the mail to a guy in California who's going to repair both the camshafts. So we're going to tear the engine down the rest of the way, get the block stripped all the way down, checked out, and see what we have to do from there. Hopefully no more surprises. This one's been a lot more surprises than we expected. So that's where we're at for now.